Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about something which I have always been struggling with, but it is also something which I place a lot of importance on when raising my own children, and that is emotional intelligence. I am quite an emotional person and get upset very easily. Feelings of frustration, annoyance, jealousy, depression, disappointment, loneliness, and anxiety all arise very easily. However, growing up, I did not really get to talk to my parents openly about these emotions. They were really, really great parents, they cared about me a lot. But it's just that we didn't get to talk about the negative emotions, the sadness, the disappointment in an open manner. And now, as a grown up, reflecting back, I find there hasn't been much discussion or open sharing of these emotions even at school. And if one showed grief, sadness, pain, it is being seen as being too sensitive or things aren't so bad. And I'm doing this to myself, causing this pain to myself, and I'm not really qualified to feel hurt. And even when I'm really happy about something, usually I was told that it is not so great. The achievement is downplayed upon, and I had the impression that nothing was really worth celebrating for, or my reactions are simply too dramatic. In particular, I got confused about whether I am qualified to have those feelings and even felt apologetic or bad for feeling bad. Especially after having kids, I feel there's a need to be strong all the time for my kids. But ironically, the more I feel I should be strong, the more pressure I give to myself, and the more incapable and emotionally drained I feel. I am desperate for help, but just too scared and don't know where to go for help. I don't know if this resonates with any of you. But I want to talk about why we should not have to feel ashamed or apologetic to feel hurt, feel the grief by ourselves or sad anymore. There is no need and no such thing as being qualified or justified to have those personal feelings. They are within each of us, and we are all unique individuals, each with our own makeup of DNA and experience, and nobody should be in the position to judge us for feeling those emotions. I believe we need to cultivate a culture where we do not need to feel bad, ashamed for having negative thoughts or feelings, or feeling weak or feeling emotional at things. And I believe that we should feel openly okay to say that we are not okay and we need emotional support. The feeling of vulnerability is something we should not just sweep away or hush over easily. Adults need to feel okay to be vulnerable. Everyone is vulnerable at times, and I think it's time to open up to talk about vulnerability and fully embrace it. It goes both ways. That means the listener needs to be open to listening to the problem in the first place. And it goes both ways. If the listener is not paying attention to it or dismissing it, then the person who wants to open up will most likely feel unheard, misunderstood, too stupid or too sensitive, and will just bottle up such emotions. I think as adults we might have many roles: a spouse, a parent, child, sister, brother, a colleague, a friend, and I think we need to do two things in essence. So one is empathetically listen to the other person, especially your loved ones, because your listening, your participation in their lives, your willingness to spend the time to actually listen to them, pay attention to them genuinely without any judgment of your own, will mean so much to them and really, really help them to heal and free themselves from the negative thoughts and to make them feel understood. Secondly, we need to be open to talk about things to your loved ones, to open up your heart and soul. In fact, I believe the reason why they were so critical is only a reflection of their own experience as well. They may have their own inner child wounds, which they still haven't healed. I'm really keen to improve my relationship with my own parents, especially my mom, who I care so deeply about. And so instead of focusing on the lack of emotional support um, that she hadn't, well, the lack of emotional support in my childhood. I now realize, given I now have learned the skills and I'm now an adult, I should be the one giving her the emotional support instead. So I try to be empathetic to her needs and worries, and in doing so, I become more respectful and open to her views. And it is not to say that I need to agree with her all the time, but I become more understanding. And once I make her feel understood, she also becomes more less defensive and tries to understand me a bit more, or at least be more open and flexible. I think this really applies to all relationships in life, with your spouse, your children, your friends, your colleagues, everybody. And it definitely helps to build stronger relationships in life, enhance trust in our relationships, and make life a lot more happier and fulfilling. Finally, I just want to say that our children mirror us a lot, and the first step to helping our kids to develop emotional intelligence, I believe, would be for us as parents to strengthen our own emotional intelligence. Be aware of the emotions that we have from time to time and learn to see the different possibilities of explaining why someone is doing something, and learn to be more empathetic in listening and forgiving, and try to be as open and flexible to understand someone's views and stance before jumping into a conclusion. These are all easy to say but really hard to do. But just remember that when we act in an aggressive way, when we are yelling or shouting and not showing respect, these have a really just negative impact on our children also, because they will think that being aggressive is the way to solve problems, to deal with difficult situations or difficult people, or when things just don't go as planned. We need to be mindful of our own actions and words and show them the alternative. Of course, from time to time, I also jump into being angry or resentful, or just would just have to just yell. But there is an alternative, and that is to show compassion and kindness. Remind ourselves that compassion and kindness, to be open to our own feelings of vulnerability. It is okay to be vulnerable. It is okay to show your children that you have emotions as well, and try to teach them how to express it. Learn to communicate with other people in a more constructive manner. Imagine a world where, similar to driving cars, parents actually have to take lessons, mandatory lessons, and actually have to take tests, and need to regularly take update lessons as well, to refresh ourselves with the latest version of how to raise our kids to be emotionally intelligent and to be loving and caring and understanding in our relationships with our respective partners. And likewise, kids have to learn about emotional intelligence and relationships at school, and it is a serious subject, one that has a lot of respect and importance, which it so rightfully deserves. I think it will mean a better place with less conflicts, more love and understanding, and for us all as well as for all the new generations to come. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you like it, and please do click like and subscribe to my channel. It may mean so much to me, and I hope to see you in my next video.